Madagascar is where Diddy's freak-offs were first found, and this has been going on for decades.
This is like a puppy party.
Telling the Boondocks about his love of male singers.
I loved you, man.
Diddy, you nasty.
These movies and TV shows showed Diddy in a bad light.
I had no idea.
This scary children's show showed that Diddy was an abuser. You see, the show all that was made by a famously weird Hollywood person. This unsettling image was made by Diddy and Dan Schneider, a man who has hundreds of charges against him.
And he's still sound asleep. What are we gonna do? You know, in situations like this, I always ask myself, what would P. Diddy do? P. Diddy?
What's up?
We can't wake up Shane.
Tell you what. Take this toy helicopter. Put it down his pants.
All right,
We'll do it.
we'll do. Come on, put it in. Nothing. Didn't work. He's still asleep.
Try this.
Shall I? By all means.
What if I told you that one of the characters in the Madagascar movie was based on Diddy and no one knew it for 20 years? As you can see, Diddy's pal and well-known comedian Chris Rock decided to voice the zebra in Madagascar in 2005. After years of hearing scary tales about Diddy, Chris joined forces with the writers to sneak in a line to expose Diddy. At 36 minutes in, the main character finds a huge party that King Julian has thrown. Coincidentally, the party takes place on an island where naked animals are dancing on top of one another. At this point, Chris's character utters the following.
This is like a puppy party.
What kind of zoo is this?
I just saw 26 blatant health code violations.
Since King Julian's sole objective for the remainder of the film is to plan parties, and he will stop at nothing to achieve this, even abusing characters while they are asleep, it has been suggested that King Julian is actually modeled after Diddy.
I don't care. Soon we will put my excellent plan to action. All we have to do is wait until they are deep in their sleep.
He even goes so far as to take the major characters captive until he gets his goals. As if that weren't enough proof, the authors even made King Julian rather fruity.
Come, Maurice, what is a simple bite on the buttocks among friends? Here, give me a nibble.
The party is over, Julian.
By 2010, all Hollywood writers were trying to warn us.
What's up, snitches?
It's indeed a pleasure to meet you.
The writers of Saturday Night Live allegedly knew Diddy had slept with multiple men before official court filings were made public in 2024. When Diddy played himself in a 2010 Saturday Night Live spoof, Robert also came out dressed as a lady, and it seemed like Diddy was taking a little too much pleasure in this.
Yeah, don't front up, Blitz. He's spitting high five.
Girl, you the one that's high five. If you wasn't my man's mom, I'd tear that ass up.
Thank you.
Since Hawaii 5-0 foresaw Diddy's incarceration 15 years ago, we must discuss the show next. You see, Diddy wished to start a serious acting career in 2011. Diddy finally got hired in an episode of Hawaii 5-0 after pleading with everyone in the business for a part. It's difficult to avoid thinking that Diddy's real life was the basis for the character that the authors created, since they didn't like that Diddy would be on their show. This guy goes on the run after being accused of murder.
Yeah, I didn't kill him. You hear me? I didn't do it. Yeah, I want to believe you, Reggie. Someone else got to Bukai before I could question him.
You're asking me to trust you. You need to trust us, all right? You need to turn yourself in. And then when we clear you, if we clear you, we'll work together. You understand?
I can't do that. Only have one chance left to find out how this went down.
Hold on, Reggie, you gotta think about your kid right now, okay?
What in the hell you think I'm doing this for? If I don't put an end to this now, Kevin will never be safe.
Hey, you can't raise your kid from a prison cell.
The television program Supernatural tried to alert us to Diddy's sex addiction for years, so it wasn't the only warning from 2011. The word freak off, which Diddy used to describe his private parties, including the most heinous things imaginable, became well known to the world when charges against him began to flood the media. The authors of Supernatural cited Diddy's freak-offs more than 13 years ago, so while it seemed to take everyone by surprise, not everyone was shocked. During an episode, they also added a phrase alerting fans to Diddy's darker side.
So what kind of thing likes virgins and gold? P. Diddy?
According to one TV show, meeting one of Diddy's ex-girlfriends will result in your death. Diddy and Cassie had a difficult time together in 2012, according to court papers that were made public earlier this year. During their brief vacation, Cassie started playing around with Kid Cudi, a well-known musician. However, Diddy was prepared to kill Cudi after learning of it. According to reports, Diddy and a group of men found Cudi's car and threw a Molotov cocktail inside, causing it to explode. Fortunately, however, Cudi was not in the car. Furthermore, Diddy played a robber who becomes envious of his girl's relationship with another man in a scene he taped for the television series Blackish later that year. This is when things became a bit too real. With what we now know, it's clear that Diddy wasn't acting in this scene.
What you doing? You trying to make time with my girl? And I'm sorry, Mr. Savoy, but I thought Maribel was your girl. They all my girls. And if I ever see you talking with my girls again, I'm gonna fill that belly with lead. And you gonna pedal some ice, ass boy.
But the creators of The Simpsons also knew that you can't have a freak off by yourself. The Simpsons tried to warn us about Diddy, as well as those who attend white parties. The Simpsons has been making predictions about some of the most important historical occurrences for years, including the global epidemic, Donald Trump's election as president, and even the outcome of the Super Bowl. In the case of Diddy, they were alerting the public directly rather than guessing. The Simpsons creators had never visited a Diddy party until 2017, but after years of hearing terrifying tales, they made the decision to create an episode that exposed Diddy's notorious all-white parties.
Oh, it's a white party, just the kind I used to throw, although we interpreted the theme a bit differently in those days. Whoever is throwing this magnificent to-do knows how to enjoy their wealth.
They called it a white party and even set it on a deserted island. The attendees all looked to be people who had been connected to Diddy, such as Flavor Flav, Will Smith, and Beyoncé, which makes it even more bizarre. To show how absurd these parties were, they featured characters performing strange stunts, such as strippers on a pirate ship in the middle of a pool and a secret chamber that was protected by security, and only the party host could enter. The party's host was a rich rapper who mimics Diddy uncannily because the authors wanted to make sure everyone knew exactly who they were warning us about.
Did you say?
Mr. Burns and I were just leaving.
Are you Montgomery Burns, the despised billionaire? There's something I've wanted to tell you for a long time, you ruthless monster.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
It's amazing that The Simpsons felt safe exposing Diddy here given how deadly we know he is. But Diddy didn't scare drawings in general. His respect for other rappers was revealed on shows like the Boondocks, and he was made fun of by Family Guy. However, no one exposed Diddy more than South Park's directors, who will ridicule him whenever they can. In 5 separate episodes, they have made it a point to disparage his name. However, one episode in particular featured more than simply jokes. People have been accusing Diddy of orchestrating Tupac's shooting for years, and they thought he was also responsible for Biggie's assassination 6 months later. A 2004 episode of South Park showed Diddy to be a killer.
Puff Daddy?
Your friend Kyle told me you don't understand the importance of voting. Apparently you haven't heard of my Vote or Die campaign.
Vote or die? What the hell does that even mean?
What do you
One
think
last
it
film
means?
was released in 2024 to alert the world about Diddy. In the film Blink Twice, Diddy's ways of torturing his victims were revealed just 1 month prior to his incarceration. Blink Twice, which follows a billionaire who brings women to his private island for a weekend of drugs and partying, was released in theaters in August 2024. However, as the film goes on, some of the women start acting strangely and others start to disappear. The millionaire was found to have been using perfume as a drug. Before Diddy's latest accusations of drugging victims during freak-offs with baby oil surfaced, this film was made. However, how were they able to know? It all makes sense when you examine the film's director. The film was directed by Zoe Kravitz, the daughter of the famous singer Lenny Kravitz. If you explore Lenny's past, you'll discover that he not only frequently partied with Diddy, but they also collaborated on songs. Given that Zoe grew up surrounded by her father, it makes reasonable that she would be aware to Diddy's secrets. Not only is Zoe speaking up, but Diddy's entire business has started to fall apart. Although it's difficult to predict exactly how Diddy's May trial will proceed, one thing is certain: none of his secrets will stay that way for long. Just a month before his arrest, it was exposed exactly how Diddy tortures his victims in the movie Blink Twice. See August 2024. Blink Twice hit the box office, which follows a billionaire who invites women to his private island, where they spend the entire weekend doing drugs and partying. But as the movie progresses, some of the women start acting weird and others slowly disappear. It's revealed the billionaire had been drugging the women with perfume. Now, this movie was made before any of the news about Diddy broke, including the recent news about Diddy allegedly using baby oil to drug his victims during freak-offs. But how could the filmmakers have known about this? Well, when you look into who directed the movie, it all starts to add up, because it turns out Zoe Kravitz, the daughter of legendary musician Lenny Kravitz, was the director. And if you look into Lenny's past, you'll find that not only did he party with Diddy all the time, but they even made music together. So it all makes sense that Zoe, who spent her entire life around her father, would know all of Diddy's secrets. And Zoe's not the only one who started to speak out. Diddy's entire empire has begun to crumble. It's hard to say exactly how Diddy's trial would go in May, but one thing's for sure: every secret he's got isn't going to be so secret for long.